Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the top 5 fictional worlds I would want to live in. I first saw the idea for this video over on Murphy Napier's channel, so I'll link her video down below. But jumping right in no particular order, we have Neverland from Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. This is actually my absolute favorite fictional world. I find that I really like fantasy books that take place on islands, and this one is the top of the top for me. It's so whimsical, has so many fun creatures from fairies to mermaids, and honestly, the main draw here is the ability to fly. This, for me, has always seemed like the most fun fictional world. Next, we have Fairytale Land from The Prophecy of the Stones by Flavia Bajor, which is not a super well-known fantasy book, but it was one of my childhood favorites. And it's a fantasy book that doesn't come with a map, so I remember as a kid drawing endless maps of Fairytale Land and how I thought it should be set up. So definitely one that I loved picturing in my head and imagining for myself and creating myself. It's got so many fun details. The main characters get to meet death at one point. There are lots of creatures in this book that aren't really in other magical worlds. And so this was always a fun one for me growing up. Next, I have a non-fantasy pick, and that is Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. I know it's probably weird to pick a dystopian for a fictional world that I want to live in, but this dystopian isn't quite as extreme as some other ones. People aren't being forced to fight to the death in this fictional world. People are not living and starving in abject poverty. So while the government is doing some shady stuff because it is a dystopian, I still think this would be a fun fictional world to live in with all of the fun tech they have. Again, there's the flying element. They have hoverboards in these books, which I so desperately want to be able to ride a hoverboard. And people are just kind of living the life of luxury in these books, if you can get past what the government is secretly doing. And these are also so action-packed and fun. So they're an adrenaline ride to read, and I think they would be an adrenaline ride to live. Next, number 4 on the list is the Land of Eleon series by Patrick Carman. This is another fantasy series, and in this series our main character discovers a magical stone that allows her to talk to animals, which is the real draw with this fantasy world. I think it would be very fun to be able to have a bunch of animal sidekicks and a bunch of animal friends. And this one's full of like secret tunnels, hidden passageways, secrets that she has to find out and figure out, and that was always a lot of fun for me growing up too. She also spends a lot of her time in a really cozy sounding library. So this one just really, other than that flight aspect, has everything I want from a fictional world. And finally, number 5 on the list is Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. And this one had to go on the list because this is one where you can have any fictional world, all fictional worlds, because in this book the main character has the ability to read people and objects out of books and to read herself into books. And so with this one, I'm really just picking all fictional worlds at once. And I've always loved this one because this is a real book that loves books kind of book. I love reading about readers, and the main characters here are big-time readers. So yeah, these are 5 fictional worlds that I would love to visit or live in. Let me know down below some of your favorite fictional worlds. Thanks for watching. Remember, words matter.